Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Epcar and Ellyn Stern. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the
out of my clothes like that.
Lupin the Third Part 4 10th anniversary celebration. I am your host, Chris Della Sola. I am the author of the upcoming book, The Master Thief Files, the ultimate guidebook to Lupin the Third. Thank you very much. And they need no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. The lovely people next to me are the irreplaceable Ellyn Stern and Richard Epcar. Who really, let's be honest, without whom there really is no Lupin presence in the United States. So we're going to start with the first obvious question. The earliest example of Lupin that you guys worked on was Part 2 for Adult Swim in 2003. At least that's when it was released. Yeah. And it wasn't very successful, unfortunately, when it aired. But you guys that was your first experience with it. You got to tell us, what was that like? Their first initial idea of like what this was and such. So let's start with you, Ellyn.
Start with Richard because they're kind of rolling together.
Fair enough.
They're, we.
Not sure what they are, but what is
yes, you
rolling
are.
together?
We started doing all of this in 1980. That's a long time ago. And we've done hundreds of projects. There are certain moments, if you say this happened, I'll go, oh yeah, I remember that. But sometimes some of the things roll together and I'll say to Richard, when did we do that? What was the... Anyhow, you start.
And Richard always knows.
Sometimes.
Richard does all the thinking.
I was brought in to direct this show. I'd never heard of it, to be honest with you. And it was at that time we considered it the Red Jacket series.
Oh, it was the first.
Yep.
It was the first. It was the first that we did. There was actually a part 1. Was it part 3, the Red Jacket, or was it part 2?
Part 2 is Red Jacket.
Part 2.
Pink Jacket is
He
part
doesn't
3.
know. Chris is the information.
Okay, I'm talking now. Okay. Jesus. So anyway, we did the second series, and there was one before that, but I'd never heard of the show. I didn't know what it was. So we had Japanese producers that came in and that obviously grew up with this show in Japan, and they heard these characters in their head a certain way, and they wanted them to sound a certain way. And they liked all of the people that I cast except for Tony as Lupin. They did not like Tony. They hated him. They kept wanting to fire him. And I kept saying, what are you talking about? He's perfect. And they go, well, he doesn't sound like the guy in Japan. I said, well, nobody's heard the guy in Japan. That in America, nobody knows his show. And I said, I think his voice fits the character perfectly, So I had to fight for him. They kept having us come back, and I'll tell you kind of a funny thing. It's they kept playing the Japanese version. To me, I don't speak Japanese, so to me it sounded very flat. It sounded like that's what it sounded like. So anyway, I would bring Tony in, and I said, they want you to sound like that, Tony. And so Tony would immediately go, he would speak really flatly. And they would go, no, bigger, and he would do it bigger, and then they go, no, bigger and bigger, and they kept giving all these crazy directions. He didn't know what the hell to do, poor Tony. So they said, we want to get rid of Tony. I said, Tony's great, don't get rid of Tony. So anyway, they had him come back, and he did it 3 different ways. And they finally said, well, let's record a few shows with him and see how it goes. And then, honestly, I think he did a great job. I can't imagine anybody else doing that part, to be honest with you.
Does anyone else agree?
Yeah. So you're welcome for saving Tony.
Thank you.
And then the other thing was they could not find a Jigen. Now, at the time, I was directing the show, and I didn't really want to play a character in it. I wanted to kind of concentrate on the directing of it. And we went through about 200 actors, believe it or not, to try to find this character. And they didn't like any of them, even with the ring. I'm going to get in trouble for that. I just know it. Anyway.
Very PC.
I'm just saying how it sounds. I'm not trying to be racist or anything. Anyway, one day we were sitting around after all the auditions, and they said, Richard, you know, why don't you go in the booth and read a few lines? So I went into the booth and I read a few lines. They said, we found our Jigen. And at first I was going, oh, I don't want to play a part. I want to just do the directing. But I'm so glad they insisted, because he's one of my favorite characters and I love doing him. And, you know, it's funny, when I first did the Red, I know I'm going on a long time.
No, that's what we're here for.
When I first did the Red Jacket series, I said, oh my God, I love this show so much. I hope there's more of this. Little did I know, be careful what you wish for. Oh my God. Now, getting to this, which is part 4, we got a call from a studio in LA, and they said
That we had worked with.
Yeah, that we'd worked with, both of us. And they called me up and he said, come in, I got this project I want you to look at and direct. So I went in there and I said, oh my God, it's another Lupin series. I thought, that's fantastic. I said, you know, you do realize I directed the Red Jacket series? He goes, no, I don't know what that is. So I got to tell you, this is how, you know, Hollywood works, because you in your head, you would think, oh, let's get the guy who did the last one because he knows how the series, you know, no, none of that shit. It was just basically a roll of the dice that they called me. They could have called anybody. Thankfully, they called me. I said, you know, I did a whole series with the show. I said, can I bring in my actors that we had in the first series, which I think would be great for continuity, right? So the client said, well, we have to audition all those actors, because it was a few years. I mean, it was like 5 years, and they thought we'd all become 110 and our voices sounded completely different. So I had to have everybody do a few lines as their character. And so they approved all of us. And then we went in there. Now, this is where Ellyn comes in, because we were doing, they wanted us to do this in 3 weeks, this entire series.
26 episodes.
Normally, it would take me 6 months to do that. So Ellyn came in and co-directed with me, and I did stuff in one studio. We were like 9 in the morning till 11 at night every day. It was crazy. She was in another studio doing the same thing with the other characters, and it was insane, this show. We got it done in 3 weeks, in less than 3 weeks, actually.
But here's
Now you can go.
you can't hear me now at all, right? Now can you hear me?
Yes, Natalie can hear you.
Anyhow, this was
Can
the
you hear in
funny.
the back?
So before we do a script, we do what is called an adaptation. And there is something called Google Translate. And I think that's what they did. They did Google
There's also a thing
Translate.
called doo-doo translate.
And Google was doo-doo. So anyhow, we looked at this translation and the melts didn't work. The sync was terrible. So what was happening was Richard was writing in one studio, I was writing in the other, and I came up with this idea. And we had not seen the show before we started to direct
no
it.
prep time. They just basically threw us in there and said, do it.
So he was in one, I was in the other, and I said, we've got to have a way, because actors are coming in and we're going, who does he play? I mean, outside of, you know, the principals. So we would check off who was doing what line, and then we had to converse with each other. So he was calling me, I was calling him. What did you write? He's going to Georgia? No, he's going to Hong Kong. I mean, I'm making stuff up, but it was like that. We didn't know what. So we were rewriting the script while we were directing the entire script.
It was insane. It was really insane. It's amazing that it came out as good as it did.
It's really amazing. Actually, I don't know whether, well, Chris, you know this. At the end of it, it sat on somebody's desk for over a year.
Yeah, they needed it in 3 weeks, but it sat on some guy's desk.
And then they put it on Toonami, and for 2 years in a row, it won Best Animated Series.
Those bastards.
Anyhow, from the original Lupin till, you know, all of them, I have always done characters in all of them. And one of my favorite stories in this Lupin was we had finished all of the characters, and there was one guy we brought in. I call them Swiss Army knives, these guys, because they can do so many characters. And so anyhow, we had this guy Chris Smith in, and we had all these animals.
That was in part 4.
That was that's why I'm telling the story.
Well, that's why
That's why I'm telling the story.
yeah.
Thank you.
So why are you telling the story again?
In hopes you don't interrupt
Oh,
me.
okay.
So anyhow, at the end there were all these animals. Well, I do animal sounds. So this was a lot of fun for me, doing all the different animal sounds. But at the end, we had a field of sheep. Do you remember the field of sheep in Part 4? So we're all sitting there. This is what we did.
And Chris Smith was doing it, and we do several tracks of that, and it sounded like a flock of sheep. It was unbelievable.
It was really fun.
It was hilarious.
We were laughing.
We were dying.
We were laughing.
There's a video recording. If you have the Blu-ray for Part 4, there's actually a video recording of that session.
Oh, that's
on the
awesome.
bonus
Oh,
features.
there
There is a video recording of that.
Oh, I
They never
didn't know
sent me any of
that.
this good stuff.
They
these
don't?
Rats.
Oh.
No.
No,
Cheap
well,
bastards.
I had to beg the guy. We just did Castle Cagliostro,
Yep.
which is fantastic. Yeah, you guys got to check it out. It is fantastic.
Have you ever heard of it?
They're gonna.
No.
The guy promised me he's gonna send me a copy of that rat bastard.
I have connections, Richard. I'll make sure it happens.
No, he's actually a really good guy. He's gotten us a lot of these Lupin movies to do.
Yes.
He loves us. He loves our.
Yes.
Well, we're going around, and I love hearing these stories. And I will say is that mentioning the sheep, if I am not mistaken, for those who don't know, with the audio processing with anime dubbing, you're typically given a thing called M&E tracks, music and effects,
Right.
ergo the music and the sound effects. Given the fact that you guys had to do a lot of the animal sounds, understandably, it did not come with the M&E tracks when you guys
No.
were asked on top of, get this done in 3 weeks.
Which is,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. We had no idea we had all this extra stuff on top of the dialogue replacement we had to do. It was insane.
So you have to work from 9 o'clock to 11 every day
Yes, for 3 weeks.
for 26 episodes.
Yeah,
And you have to, there are so many characters.
yeah.
Yes.
And the music
Yes.
and the sound effects. You basically have to do all the audio from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what it was kind of like, Chris? It's okay. You can all hear me. It was, do you remember, of course you remember, being in school and you go, oh, damn, there's a test tomorrow. I didn't study for it. And you pull an all-nighter
Yep.
trying to cram. This was like doing all-nighters for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was nuts.
And let me tell you, it doesn't stop at school. I'm in my 30s. I still do that.
Well,
It's pulling an all-nighter.
I'm still trying to catch up from that period of my life that just wore me out. I'm telling you, it was really exhausting doing that.
But there is something. You get into a rhythm, and
Of
it
insanity.
became no. But I this is really strange. Either that, or I'm a little sadomasochistic. But I
I'll vouch for
really, you don't have to agree. So. I
Just trying to help.
I kind of really enjoyed working and being in that rhythm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. I mean, it was intense. It was really intense, but we got it done. I was really proud of us.
Oh, here's a little tidbit, and you don't know this. Oh,
Chris knows
something Chris doesn't know.
He knows everything.
One of the guys that we had in the studio guy said, I have this guy, he did the Sesame Street puppets. And he came in and he did a bunch of voices for us.
Yeah. They all sound like Grover for some reason.
Not to burst, but I actually did know that.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we actually talked about that during our interview for the book.
Oh,
Never mind.
It's one of my favorite stories.
Never mind.
I shouldn't know all these things, but here we are.
no, that's okay.
I forget what I've told you
Don't worry, I've kept the secrets away.
in the book.
It's in the fine print.
You gotta look for it.
We kept the secret.
But yes, so I want to say this at least is that in case it wasn't obvious for me, even not only making this book but making this panel, Part 4 is my favorite of the numeric shows that you guys have been a part of. Part 4 is my favorite. So the work you guys put into, despite how horrendous of a time crunch it was, I think the work turned out great. I was taken aback by Doug Erholtz's Zenigata, but he has honestly, I think, in my opinion, proven to be an exquisite voice for that character. And so many of my favorite episodes of the show are in Part 4. My favorite episode actually includes one of your characters, Nora Anita.
Oh.
Yes, which to hear you sing again, it's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned to me during our conversations that one of the things you typically like to do is a watch through of these shows before, so you have an idea where it's going, but you guys obviously didn't have time to do that.
Right.
Did you, at any point afterward, be able to actually enjoy the show, watch any episodes, or even during the sessions, did any episodes stand out that's like, oh, this is marvelous?
Have we ever watched some of the shows?
Did you watch the show?
Have you watched the show? I think we watched a few of the episodes.
We lived through it.
We should go back and watch
Yeah,
it.
that
It's on Tubi.
We were kind of afraid, to be honest with you, because anytime you do one of these shows, there's all kinds of stuff that's missing from the script, and they had only done the translation of the people talking, and there's all kinds of stuff with people react and stuff. So we kind of had to catch all that stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
Because none of that stuff was in the script.
No,
Of course.
no.
And I was just terrified we were going to miss some stuff, or there was going to be long pauses that we could have filled in with something that, and it all worked out. I don't know how, we just got really lucky. And
Well, I think part of it was to do with the fact we had a checklist that we would go through and the lines. So that's the way we
no, I know,
bounced
but I'm
that.
just saying, normally, even with all that, if you've never seen the episode, you don't know where. Like sometimes
Exactly.
you're recording stuff and there's like a dead spot, so you might want to put in like an announcement or somebody doing something, or
It's like July 4th, this happened. Oh, no, it didn't happen at all.
Yeah, just like that.
I've got to say something
What
about
the
Doug
hell?
Erholtz.
Oh, please.
We have a contention about this.
She wants to take all the credit.
I did. I was
But
the one,
we
I
both
said
came up
Doug is the one to replace
both did.
Dan.
We-
No, I did.
Will you
I
get
did.
back me on this, Mr.
No,
Byron?
he didn't. No. It was my idea, and then Richard said, "Yeah,
Just give it
that
to
would
her.
be
Just
great."
you've learned this by now, right?
Well, that's okay. You can have that one. All right. You feel better
Thank
now?
you. Yes, I do. And no, it was really mine.
No, she did it. It was.
You want to take credit for everything, but you can't.
Wow.
But anyhow,
Talk about the kettle.
I was the one who, Richard directed most of Tony. I directed just a little of Tony, but and you directed Michelle, but I was the one who directed Doug, and I want to share with
Yeah, you did a great job with Doug. I will give that to you. You absolutely did an amazing job with Doug.
I'll tell you how I directed him. I said, I want you to think of his character as being this, I'm trying to think of the exact words. I can't, so I'm paraphrasing. But I want you to think of this guy as just really tough. But when he gets into crisis, he becomes like a 6-year-old kid. And then he, and so it was kind of a fun schizophrenic kind of back and forth. And that's the way we did Zenigata.
No, I think that's right on.
It's pretty accurate, honestly, especially that version.
Yes.
Because around
Doug,
my version was
Doug totally enjoyed doing
who wouldn't?
it.
He's my favorite character, honestly. No offense, Jigen. Jigen's pretty cool though too.
Deacon's my favorite.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah, he said it.
Oh, look at him.
There we go. He was even sitting like him earlier. I love that.
Great.
So obviously, part of this, we're talking about part 4, but at this point,
Awesome.
since you guys mentioned that part 4 was voted as the favorite anime on Toonami twice, 2 years. 2 years was voted the favorite anime. I think it'd be safe to say, compared to part two, which did not perform as well as Adult Swim wanted it to, clearly, and part
I
four.
think there's a reason for that.
We knew the characters.
No.
Well,
I didn't write part 3.
or part two, yeah, the red jacket.
Yeah.
There's too many parts.
There's only
I didn't
6 of
write
them.
part 2. They brought in a comedy writer,
Judging by that, he probably wasn't very funny.
and no, he was not. Plus, he didn't know sync at all, and I had to rewrite a lot of the stuff. And what would happen is the writer would. This never happens on any show, but the writer would go in with the producers and watch the QC, which is the Q to Q, watching down the thing after we recorded, and he would go, "Wait, that's not my line. That's not my line. That's mine." And so he got mad that I would change his stuff. I said,
We
well,
had a
that's
very
what
nice name for him.
Yes. I said, that's what the director does. The director makes it in sync, and I said, if it's a pile of shit line, I'm going to improve it. You know?
Which
So he didn't like that idea. So anyway,
I have to give Richard major kudos.
God,
Richard's-
finally, after 43 years.
don't get ahead of me, Richard.
I don't have my watch or else I'd be counting.
I'll love your one.
Richard's a very funny guy. And are you shaking your head now?
You bastard.
Like,
No, I think you were responding to your text message. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, how dare you? He's hilarious.
Anyhow, Richard's a very funny guy, and anyhow, he brings a lot of levity to the lines. Through being married to him for this time, I guess it's rubbed off on me.
I'm glad something rubbed off on you. Anyway,
I mean,
he's just PC.
you're quite the talented comedy writer as well, Ellen. I've seen Life's a Bitch.
Thank
Funny stuff. If anyone here doesn't know what I'm talking about, go to Richard Epcar's website. They have it on the homepage still.
Mine too.
Yes, of course. But Life's a Bitch, amazing, funny pilot.
Ellen wrote this great show called Life's a Bitch. You can go on YouTube and look up Life's a Bitch and put in Ellyn Stern or Richard Epcar, and it'll come up. There's 2, they're short, they're only like 6 minutes long, but they're really funny. And we hope to make a series out of it. It's us on camera, actually. It's not an animated thing, really, but it's really funny.
And speaking
And
of
Stephen
stuff,
Tobolowsky's in it also.
yes, who's very funny. Stephen Tobolowsky, Groundhog Day.
Yep.
Anybody?
Famous character actor.
Yes.
He played Ned, the insurance guy, who was always stepping in the puddle. And anyhow, very funny guy.
I did a movie with him, Memoirs of an Invisible
And
Man,
I've
which
worked
did.
with him for years.
Anyway, I wanted to kind of go back and just say why I think the first one didn't perform that great.
right.
The comedy writer decided to make the show present day, even though that particular series was drawn in the 70s. So it didn't really quite meld, I don't think, because you're talking about stuff that's happening now, but it obviously looks like you're in the past, you know, and I don't think that was a good fit, and I tried to get them to go away from that. But I don't know, this comedy writer must have pictures of them having sex with goats or something, because they just did everything this guy wanted them to
It
do.
must have been sheep.
Anyway, I don't understand why they were so attached to his opinion. He's never done this stuff before. So I don't know what the deal was. But anyway, that's the deal. And then once I got this other, have any of you seen part 6?
Yes.
Okay, well, I did not write that. You see how dry that is compared to,
You didn't miss much.
right? But I mean, seriously, you see how dry that show was. I didn't write it or direct that. That was one I did not do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really upset about it because I thought the animation was absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
It looked amazing. But they gave it to some other company, and they gave it to someone who was kind of a first-time director, and I don't think they did a great
No.
job.
Well, to be fair, the source they were working with wasn't great. I watched it when it aired in Japanese, and it had some story issues. But it was always great.
But
that
there was
you
some
guys,
cool. I love that. There's a scene with Jigen and Zenigata in the bar together.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And they're talking to each other. It's right out of a noir movie.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really cool. And I just thought they could have, they could have really done a lot more of that kind of stuff in that. And I don't know. I just wish I love it when they turn it over to me and let me do my thing.
Well, there's another series that we've done over time. Richard plays Bateau in Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Thank
And
you. Thank you, Mr. Pirate. I appreciate that.
I'm telling the story.
I'm
Do I
thanking
get any
Mr.
credit?
Pirate.
I'm just appreciating.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm doing this, that's all.
Where's my?
For both of you.
See?
Thank you. Anyhow, I played Haraway in Ghost in the Shell, in a sense. Richard directed it, and Ghost in the Shell is very, very heavy, dense stuff. If you watch Ghost in the Shell, in a sense, it's got a lot of humor in it, which infuses the solemn, serious, very dense, psychologically deep tone, and it gives you a chance to breathe. I think that's very, very important. That's, we'll be listening, and all of a sudden there's humor and you get involved again. There is a series right now that we are binge watching, which if you haven't seen it outside of watching our stuff, watch this. It's called Resident Alien. Anybody seen it?
Yes, Alan
Yes.
Tudyk.
Amazing.
Great show.
I know. Well, we're still
we're
binging.
binging so
But
bad.
No
anyhow,
spoilers.
He's
Yeah.
terrific, Alan, too.
It was announced at one of the Comic Cons in California, I think it was.
Anime
They
comics.
said, they were, it was last season.
That's what I heard. Anyhow.
He's talking about San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah. But anyhow, that show, as silly as it can get, is very, it's got a lot of heart and it's got a lot of meaning. And I think that's really wonderful when you blend those two.
And it is Ellen Tudyk.
That's true.
Well,
But it's also the writing.
the guy who plays the alien, he also played one of the characters on Serenity, the
Yeah.
TV show.
He's done a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He's done a
Yeah.
lot.
He's been in Disney movies.
He's been around. I met him at a convention years ago. I didn't know who he was, to be honest with you, aside from the fact that I knew he was a voice actor, did a lot of voice stuff, but I had no idea he has an incredible resume of on-camera stuff.
He's an incredible actor.
It's
I mean,
wonderful.
the things that he goes through. It's not his panel. Let's
Yeah, I
talk.
was gonna say, we're promoting this guy for he's
And then there's Alan Tudyk in the back.
But go watch his
Come on
stuff.
down, Alan.
But yes, Part 4, arguably more successful than Red Jacket for Adult Swim. I think it's safe to say that the success, at least with the voting and such, probably helped, at the very least, make you guys sort of the go-to people for Lupin, even if it's always a roll of the dice. I mean, you guys have done over a dozen at this point. Like, I counted something like 17, I think, that you guys have been directly involved in.
Well, one of the coolest ones, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to digress real quickly. One of the coolest ones we got was the first season,
Yes.
which
Part
was
1.
done by Miyazaki. It was hand-drawn by Miyazaki. And every frame of that was hand-drawn.
If you
It was
haven't
unbelievable.
seen it, you
And,
must.
and they gave it over to us to write and adapt it. And it was just a joy to work on it. And, you can see some of the Lupin personality is not quite there yet. We're still kind of finding his personality a little bit, but it's a wonderful
It's like any
watch.
first season.
Yeah,
They're figuring things out.
exactly. It's like the first season of any show, really. But it's wonderful to have worked on it because the artwork is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider you hand draw all this stuff, and it was just really wonderful to be part of that. It had never been done before, and it was 50 years old.
Oh, yeah. It was the 50th anniversary when you guys did it.
50th anniversary.
Yeah.
They finally
1971
got
was when
around
it
to
debuted.
dubbing, and I'm glad they brought it to me and Ellen. So That was great.
And you guys are continuing, because like you said earlier, doing the brand new Cagliostro dub, which,
Yes.
let's be real, it's been dubbed a couple times. I think this is going to be the definitive version,
Yes.
because we have the definitive cast and crew,
Yes.
in my honest opinion. I mean, would you all agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
They did a survey, actually. What is it? I forget the name of the company now. That's terrible. But the company that owns the rights to Lupin. They
Oh,
did-
TMS.
TMS, thank you. I keep saying TMI, but it's TMS.
That's a different phrase altogether.
Yes, I think so. It is too much information. They did a survey, and I'm going to say my cast was more popular than the original Japanese cast. We were the most popular Lupin cast. So I was very, very proud of that, very happy.
But here's the
And I think they're
exciting
right.
thing, is that there's still more.
I know, it's so funny. When I did the Red Jacket series, I said, God, I hope there's a lot more of this stuff. And it's like, oh my God, there's so much of this stuff. It's insane. We've done a bunch of movies together. We've done tons of these movies. And you get Discotheque Media
Yep.
is the ones that do, they're the ones that distribute all this stuff. So if you guys want to see any of these movies, there's some wonderful old movies, and some of these things were in the 70s they did them, but they're
One
great.
of my, I'm sorry.
Like some of
I'm
these, you're like on an acid trip.
Oh, Legend of the
Like-
Golden Babylon.
Yes. What the hell were they smoking on that one?
Is that the one that?
Rosetta? Yep,
Rosetta.
that's the one.
Yes.
Legend of Golden Babylon.
I can never remember the name.
That's why you got me.
But anyhow, I had to sing a song and be drunk. Have any of you seen Legend of the Gold of Babylon?
Sick bastard.
Is that crazy? It is like an acid trip.
It's
More
The
like
funny
a
thing was-
cocaine trip, because it was the 80s, so.
The funny thing about that, though, is that the clients were very insistent that I keep the song the same, but the song didn't fit her lips. So there was like a bunch of flaps at the end. So I had Ellen do this. She'd do this.
Do
She'd
you want
sing
me to
some-
do it?
Sure.
How many miles to Babylon? 70 miles and 10, la la la.
So
Can we get there by candlelight? Yes, and back again.
yeah, good. Very nice. She still got it, I tell you. She still got it. But
It was
yeah.
a lot more, but it was
We had
really
to put in the la la la's in there because the thing didn't fit and the mouse still flapping along. So
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's basically a Lupin retrospective at this point. But, and it's hard not to, because there's so much to talk about. There's so many great stories. But to bring it back to part 4 for just a little bit, I
yeah,
suppose.
sure, bring it back.
Like I said, is that part 4, I feel it's a very important series for your team specifically, because it not only solidified, this is the English cast, this is the English crew, these are the people that should be doing this. I feel, because we've had so many different people. We've had Streamline Pictures, Funimation, or Crunchyroll now work on it. But honestly, none of them, I don't think they hold a candle to Richard's Jigen, and I don't think
Thank you.
the writing is nearly as good when it's not these two. So the point being, really long point, is that, there's going to be more in the future. There's always going to be stuff to go back and dub for anniversaries or whatever. Safe to say you're optimistic of what the future holds for Lupin the Third?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's going to be more. It's like every once in a while, the people at Discotheque call us up and go, we've got another one.
Or TMS.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of those two.
And TMI calls us sometimes too.
Well, that's for a different problem.
It's so funny because after I did the Red Jacket series, we got wind that there was another Lupin show coming out, and we really wanted to do it. Remember, we went to the distributors and everything, and pled our case and wanted to do it, but they were basically just looking to sell it. So we had to come up with the dough, which is a lot of money for these things. So.
Which we didn't
Which
have.
we couldn't do at that point, but we were really hoping we could do more of it, and then all of a sudden we just started. It was because of the part 4 really that all this happened, but it was kismet. It really was. It was so weird. It wasn't like they they seeked me out or anything, or it just fell in my lap, and it turned out. Now I think they definitely would come to us.
I mean, 17 plus later, I think at this point.
Although they didn't come to us for the 6th one. I don't know why, but it was a shame.
As long as you guys are still playing them, I'll take some mediocre writing.
It's not just the writing,
It's the directing, too.
True.
the directing. The directing is a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's about interpretation, And if you can't bring the levity to it, then it falls flat on its face. I mean, can you picture Resident Alien without the comedy?
Probably not.
Yeah.
It has been.
I think that was called, was it The Visitors, or was that show that was kind of an alien thing, but they all had, the aliens all had like a weird pinky or something. That's how they could tell the aliens, but it was pretty serious. It did pretty serious.
It doesn't ring a bell, but now I'm interested.
I didn't drink it. I didn't drink it. I can't even talk anymore. What was it called?
Alien Nation.
It wasn't Alien Nation. It sounds like a band.
I think you're thinking of Alien Ant Farm.
No, the Visitors? No. I'll think of it.
Nobody else knows it either.
Well, it was probably before
You
your
think you
time.
remember a show about aliens with weird pinkies? I feel like that's a hook
Was it
right
V?
there. V?
Was it?
No, I don't think it's V. V or Reptilian.
I remember the actor in it was terrific. He was really a good actor.
Honey, it's okay.
No, I must know.
We have the world's information in our hands.
That's right. Let's see what it is.
Anyhow.
Yes, of course. We're basically going to wrap this up real quick and hand it over to you guys to ask your very own questions to Richard and Ellen, or me, but I doubt you have any. But before we do, we have just one more thing,
Yes.
which 10 years of Lupin the Third Part 4 isn't the only thing of note that was celebrated recently, because as kind of mentioned earlier, Richard and Ellen have recently celebrated 43 years of marriage.
And I'm only 35, so I don't know how that happened.
You look great.
I'm still in vitro.
I don't know.
It was
very
The
well.
Invaders was the show.
The Invaders. Okay.
Invaders.
The
I knew there was
Invaders.
a
We got the answer.
See, I didn't make it up.
No one was
He had
accusing
that
you,
little
Rich.
crooked finger, and that's which is kind of ridiculous. It's like they're going, I don't know who the invaders are. And is it just look at the guy's hand, for God's sake, you know?
Yeah, because it was like just one guy knew that there were aliens. No one else knew.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that guy was a very good actor. I can't remember his name, but he was a very good actor. What was that, in the 60s or something? Or?
I have
Was it
no
an
idea.
early 70s show?
No,
I don't
yeah, you're right.
At any rate,
See, I didn't make it up.
43 years of marriage to lovely Richard and Ellen.
Yes.
We have this
Oh.
made specifically for you,
Oh my God.
Oh my.
and we will put it on the screen for everyone else. This lovely illustration by the Abbey Roadie, or Lauren Kissich, the illustrator of my book. So this is specially made just for the two of you.
That's
That
awesome.
is so great.
That is very cute.
Thank you. I shouldn't take credit.
Please say thank you to her.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's gonna know.
What?
She'll know.
Oh,
That's
thank
you?
No, oh no, no.
No, she's
love
just
That's
she's
you?
recording.
I love it.
Oh, no. Who is
Yeah.
it?
That is Natalie. She runs a podcast, Sideburns and Cigarettes, Lupin the Third podcast.
Well, that's me. Well, no, Lauren is all the way in SoCal.
Yeah.
I like to say she would have loved to be here, but she is
She's
really
very busy. She's always making art.
Yes.
She does the
Lauren, thank you so,
is awesome.
so much.
yep, right to the camera
Thank you
for
for
her.
getting rid of my guts.
I mean, I thought she captured you guys very well.
I think she did too. I
Yeah.
think
It's adorable.
it's really adorable.
Yeah.
It is.
She's got your smile.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The radiant smile.
And my thumb is perfect.
Well, they really emphasize, tall actor.
I love it. That's great. That's,
But all right, anyone who has questions,
Yes.
come on up and we'll hand the microphone to you.
Do you have a crooked pinky? We got-
All right, so I got two questions. So the first one is, how would you guys help someone through a dark time in life?
I just,
Look for the light.
Deep
I just,
philosophical
yeah,
questions.
just try to talk to them and communicate and see what's going on with them and try to help them,
And also to that person, I don't know whether it's you or a friend or a family, but life changes every moment. And every moment that happens, you have a choice. You
Yeah.
have a choice to do something different. It's like, you don't like this moment? Okay, this moment.
Yeah.
No, not that moment, this moment.
Yeah.
You can change it at the very moment you decide.
Yeah. And with Lupin the Third, what other crossover would you like to happen with them?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know, we just did one with the girls.
Yeah, Cat's
Cat's eye.
Cat's Eye. That was kind of
I
fun.
think.
And then we did one with,
Detective Conan.
yeah. I don't know, it'd be kind of, maybe do some DC stuff. I don't know if I'd ever do that, but
You kind of sort of had one with Mamo with that one shot of him with the DC superheroes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think
it
that's
could
good.
happen.
That's kind of cool, but I think that'd be kind of fun.
Come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, come
No,
on.
I got,
Anyway, if
I
it's,
got a
if it's you
suggestion,
hanging
if we're
there,
good.
buddy, you know.
Oh, you have a crossover
I have a
suggestion.
suggestion.
Oh,
City Hunter.
Yes.
City Hunter.
Yes, City
I
Hunter.
would love to see.
I want a City Hunter one.
Rio Cycle.
all right.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's a one of the films. Apparently, Lupin made a debut, and he somehow
Yep.
knows his Rio's sidekick.
And unfortunately, they didn't dub it. They released it here recently, and they did not. Yeah, because Lupin and Jigen appear in it for a very brief cameo, because they kind of imply it takes place in the same
Is
universe.
it our voices?
No, because they didn't dub it. Yeah.
What about Cowboy Bebop? We could do a crossover with those guys.
Yes.
Well, I mean, given the fact that
It goes
Lupin was the
back- they go back
inspiration.
in time.
Yeah, and I'll actually,
travel
I
thing.
don't know if you guys knew this, but Spike Spiegel is based on Jigen. They kind
A
of
little
do a
bit.
lot of it. When you think about it, it makes sense.
Well, a lot of Lupin was a direct inspiration to Cowboy Bebop. I met the director, and we talked about that specifically. Honestly, if they did a crossover, well, probably before Spike. So
Spoilers.
it's been 30 years.
I know.
I do want to say something to you with the camera here. I just want to say to you
Yeah.
that tough times don't last. Tough people do. Just remember that. And
Appreciate
hopefully
it.
that'll get you through tough times.
Thank
That was incredible.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Come on up.
What was your inspiration in doing Bato?
Bato is very similar to me, actually. I of all the, I mean, he and Jigen are very similar to me. I make them a lot. I put a lot of myself in those characters. I really did, and I love Bato. He's a tough guy, but he's got a heart of gold, and he's a very fair person. He has a very wry sense of humor. And to me, it was just one of the best fits, of any character actor thing. Sometimes when you you're cast as a character and the character's really nothing like you, then you just have to really then you have to really act and become that character. But for those characters, they're in many ways similar to me, and I just use a lot of myself in those characters. So, yeah.
I'm a 90s kid, so I got to watch all the Lupin stuff and Ghost in the Shell stuff.
Two great shows.
Very great.
Yes.
So, you've done so much stuff. When you go back to a character, like let's just say Castle Cagliostro, it is my favorite only probably because it's the first one I saw and that's what's in my memory.
It's a great movie.
And the
Really.
comedy and everything, the action and the pacing and, you were talking about that concept of slowing down pacing. Everything was so good. When you go back to a role, especially years later, is it like putting on a glove? Or do you have to change it due to, the change in the times, or is it you just fall right back in?
For me, if it's similar timeline, it's just like putting on a glove or a comfortable jacket that you wear that feels great. I mean, like Bateau and Jigen are two of those characters that I can just easily just jump in and become those characters, and it's very easy for me to do that. Sometimes you play a certain character, like I did Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and there's the second series of that I did, or I guess it was the third series that I did of Joseph. He's, the series, that particular show, every season it's 30 years later. So in the third one, he's like in his 90s, and he's really old and doddering and drooling in his shoes, and it's just, he's a very different character than he was because he was so robust before, and I really enjoyed playing him as that robust, kind of crazy character, and then he just became a really kind of old guy, a doddering guy. So that was hard. That was really hard. But you have to remember that's the same character. So that character has just gotten older, but he's kind of lost his, his energy and everything. It's just kind of that was tough. That was really tough to play that after that.
I did Masaki Kurosaki in Bleach, and we had not visited Bleach for years, and suddenly they came back, and they said, "Oh, she's back," and the writing was a little different, the character was a little different, and so it was almost like jumping into a new character. But, when there's a part of you that part of you that was there in the original, it's still going to exist in the character years later.
So I guess when you jump back to a franchise, and you both alluded to this, you never know box of chocolates what you're going to get in terms of the director, the producer, the writer, the intent. Have they even done any research? Are they 22 years old and they've never seen it? It's
Many times.
Yeah,
No.
that can happen.
Many
That can
times.
happen.
No. It's like they just see something and it's face value. There's no peripheral vision.
When we went in to do, what was the girl show we did, the crossover?
Oh, Cat's Eye.
Cat's Eye. When we did Cat's Eye, the director, thank God for this guy. It was Ezra Wise who directed it. He's a really good guy. And he said to the client, he said, I want to get Richard's cast to do the Lupin character.
That's a real one right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they agreed with that. And when I went in there to do it, he basically said to me, you know this character so much better than I do. He said, so you go. And I was rewriting lines. I was changing stuff. He was just letting me do pretty much what I
And
wanted.
he didn't know.
Yeah.
What a
He
what a-
didn't know that.
what a
But that's a
smart
good
man.
director. That's a good director who he knows that I know that character better than he does. So he's going to let me do it so that it's authentic.
He checked his ego at the door.
Yeah, well, that's what you want. You don't want somebody who's going to be a puppet master, which we both work with plenty of those guys. And it's no fun, I got to tell you.
Unfortunately, we are out of time. I know.
Can I share one?
You may. You have the floor.
That's why.
One more thing, and it's a little premature, but I wrote a film and an investor has picked it up. And I'm going to be starring in it with my co-star.
Aww.
I had to sleep with the writer.
I had to think about it.
I have a thing that week.
Anyhow, we're going to be filming it probably next year at some point. So anyhow.
I'll be first in line to see it.
Awesome.
Same.
Of course, Chris.
And see Life's a Bitch.
Please.
Life's a
Yeah.
Bitch.
Please
on
watch
YouTube.
Life's a
Go on to my Instagram page and the link is right there.
And please follow us both
Yes.
on Instagram. Very
Please.
important.
Is
Is
Please
the
follow
film
us.
animated or live action?
Live.
It's live action.
Live action.
And
It's
it's
very fun.
a
Life's a Bitch.
psychological thriller / horror.
And those are doing really well right now, so I'm invested. I don't have money, but I'm
She kills me, the
emotionally.
bitch. Can you believe it?
Spoilers.
I know.
Yes, I want to
I
thank
could be joking.
Richard and Ellyn Stern for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thank you, guys.
Because again, without them, there is no Lupin the Third in the United States. I want to thank all of you for coming,
Yes, thank
and
you guys.
and for Saboten Con for giving me a chance,
Yeah.
and of course them for giving me a chance.
And I just want to thank Chris for his devotion and interest and curiosity and obsession with Lupin the Third, because I can't wait to read the book.
I can't wait to be done with it.
Looking forward to it.
It's almost done.
Good.
And if you have any questions about the book, you can see me at the Creators Corner. Richard and Ellyn will still be signing autographs in the Artist Alley, so please
Please come
go
see
up
us.
to them, talk about Lupin all day long.
Yes.
Thank you all so very much.
All weekend
Thank you,
long.
Chris.
All weekend long, yes.